Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you an incredibly strong build for the Exterminator in Halls of Torment. Obviously this game is pretty early on, so this is all likely to change, but I just wanted to show you this to you because I had a lot of fun with this build, and I'm going to be showing you the build now. So for items, we're going with the Wind Crown for our headpiece, which is going to give us attack speed for every kill up to 50% max. We're using the Guiding Star to give us 40% attack speed while we're attacking. The plated boots for some defense and some block strength. The blazing shell to set enemies on fire if they touch us with some block strength. Quick hand gloves for more attack speed. Ring of Thunder, this is the key piece of the build. With the Ring of Thunder, what that does is it converts all of our damage into electricity damage and gives us a 15% chance to electrify. And then, of course, for the amulet, we have the Jade Amulet. You could sub this out if you don't care about XP, but I'm just too lazy to swap it out, so I just don't. So now I'm just going to jump into the viaduct and I'm just going to show you how this build can work. So first things first is you want to grab a lightning ability first if you can. And obviously you're just going to grab some XP here. And we're just going to try and get through these first few levels because our goal is to start really getting out of control here pretty quick. Now, it is recommended you have 3 reverberant tinctures, but it's not a requirement. It just makes the build work a lot better. Same thing goes for the potion of memories. They're very useful to have, but hardly a requirement. They just make the build work a little bit better. So we've got our first thing here. We have a proficient stance for the proficient stance for damage, so sorry. We're going to go ahead and skip that though, because we're going to wait for a reach add-on. Or actually, no, we're not going to wait for a reach add-on. We're just going to potion of memories this, and then we're going to grab a crit chance now. Now, the reason we're going to potion of memories that is it allows us to take both the attack speed, both the damage and the reach whenever we see reach come up in the tree. So I'm mainly prioritizing attack speed right now, whenever I can. So okay, we're going to go ahead and scoop up the range now. The biggest downside to this build is it can feel rather boring, because you really don't have to move around a lot, but you can if you want to. Now, I could go and grab all the other abilities, but you really don't need them, honestly. You really don't need them. You really just need your introductory ability, and then the rest of the game will go just fine for you. So, we're just going to we're going to reroll this. We're going to go ahead and grab Fire Affinity, because that helps with our burn chance. That gives us our burn chance back that we've lost by not having fire damage on our weapon. We got more burn chance here. We're going to potion of memories this because we also want the attack speed version of weapon proficiency as well. There we go, we got the attack speed. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely you don't really need that much attack speed. It's a flamethrower. It shoots constantly. You're not wrong, but the rate at which the projectiles fire increases with how much attack speed you have. And what that ends up leading to is it leads to some very interesting... We're going to wait for reach for our next stance, because we're going to keep doubling down on the weapon proficiencies instead. But the more attack speed you have, the faster these hits come out. And you'll see how that comes together later on into the build here. So we're going to grab the Potion of Memories for the burn chance again, because we want our burn chance to be a bit higher than it normally is. I'm going to go ahead and grab the burn chance now that we have the attack speed and the burn. I'm so stupid. I've just forgotten to wait for the attack speed to pop up. It's okay though. Okay, so this is the big one you want right here. It's the Lightning Affinity. You're going to use your Reverberant Tincture, so you have yourself 10% crit chance, 10% lightning damage, and 10% electrify chance. Now, it's not really going to show on these mobs here, because they die quick enough already. But what you're going to see is when I fight an elite enemy, you're going to really see the difference in terms of raw DPS output. We're going to go grab multi-hit. Alright, so for shits and giggles, we're going to go grab the other abilities and see what else we might encounter along the way. Okay, so we're going to have our first elite enemy here with this mob spawning, if I'm not mistaken. Or at least it'll be here quite soon. Okay, we got another lightning affinity. We'll go ahead and double up. So keep in mind, because of that, we've already picked up 20% crit chance, 20% lightning damage, and 20%, sorry. Oh my god, we're spoiled for choice. Alright, so we're going to go grab more range. Alright, so as you can see, I'm going to fight this guy. And as you can see, the fire damage, the lightning damage from the electrify just stacks so fucking quick. And he just goes down like a sack of potatoes. He really stood no chance there. All of our damage over time ticks just stacked up. Because the thing about electrify is it does 100 damage a stack up to 20 stacks for 2000 damage a tick. And the more stacks an enemy has, the faster the tick on the dot is. So when you fight those elite enemies and you have 20 stacks of electrify on them and you just keep hitting them with electrify, not only do they stay at 20 stacks, but they take 2000 damage a tick, and they take 2000 damage a lot. And it only gets stronger with the more electrify chance you have, which is why we're doing double down on the lightning thing. We're going to keep grabbing fire affinity as well to improve our burn chance. Because why not have a 500 damage burn tick on top of our 2000 damage lightning tick, right? We got another attack speed tincture here. We're going to not fumble the bag, and we're going to be patient this time. Now, if you really want to with this build, once you get it kind of rolling, you really don't have to play anymore. You can just turn on auto aim with auto attack and just stand in one spot and kill everything. That's what I mean by the downside of this build being rather boring if you want it to be. So you kind of have to make your own fun a little bit, because that's just how strong this build is in terms of raw DPS output. As you can see, these shield mobs stand no chance. They just go down instantly as well. For your defensive stuff, you really just need to grab base defense. You really don't need regen that much. Base defense is going to give you more effective HP in case you do get hit. Don't get me wrong, regen is nice though, but it's not, you don't necessarily need it per se. And as far as abilities go, I'm focusing on anything that can make my electrify happen more often. So with the lightning ball, the ball lightning, as you can tell, it also applies its own degree of electrify, and it works really well with the flamethrower as well. It helps keep those stacks up on enemies, especially when you're dealing with mobs and hordes that come out the woodworks. Electrify chance. And the wonderful thing about attack speed too is when you get to the ghosts on this level, your flamethrower kills them so quick it's not even funny. Got this one. So we'll go ahead and do the other one that makes our ball lightning cast chain lightning randomly. That's going to add more DPS overall to our mobs and horde clear. Okay, we got our weapon double proficiency on 3s. We get our extra burn chance. As you can see on these regular mobs, the tick is happening so fast that some of these enemies get to 500, to get to 5 stacks of electrify in like a second. It's insane. Grab range to make our flames just carry a little bit farther. You don't really need that many damage increases on this build the way it is, because your weapon deals so low damage per tick that you don't necessarily need extra damage percentages, because you're only going to be adding what, like maybe 3 or 5 damage a tick, and compared to what you're doing, you don't need it, but I mean if you want to, you can do it, I guess. But to me, the reach is more useful when you're doing this build, because you can hit more mobs, you can hit more enemies all the time. So that's kind of the philosophy I go with. I will grab crit later, but it's not a need right now. We're clearly killing enemies just fine without crit chance. We're going to go ahead and grab our attack speed now. As you can see, the damage is coming out a little bit faster now. Go ahead and grab our multi-hit. That's just going to give us 20% multi-hit total, which means every 5 ticks of flame we get 2 flames instead. Since the Exterminator doesn't have any other multi-hit opportunities as far as I'm aware, that's going to be your best source of, it's just going to be free damage, basically. You're just leaving damage on the table if you don't take that. Alright, so we got our first boss. Okay, perfect. We got our third lightning affinity. So as you can see, I'm just gonna hit him with a bunch of lightning, and he's just going down quick. He's dead. Because all that lightning tick just stacked up, and he just died instantly. Once the lightning stacked up on him, that was all she wrote. Bulwark? And that was a boss level enemy for this level, and it went down super quick. So I'm gonna show you the whole playthrough here. Let's see, Fire Affinity 3. Okay, so as far as debuffs go, we're at our mostly maximum chance for issuing Burn and Lightning Electrify. Now, see, this is interesting, right? I could take this, and I'm probably going to, but I'm going to go ahead and Potion of Memories this. And we're going to take it a little bit later. The reason we're not going to take it right now is I want the other weapon affinity to drop as well, which improves our just raw damage output. It won't be a huge increase by any means, but it'll be enough. And for our stance proficiency, we're just going to wait for the other one. We don't want this one. That one's trash, in my opinion. Or it doesn't work. Either one, it just doesn't feel very good to me to use. So we're going to wait for the other one, which should give us base damage, just flat damage. Go ahead and grab more attack speed to attack even quicker. More range, so we can hit enemies from a little bit farther away. You really don't even need the range, to be honest with you. It's just nice. Alright, we have an elite here. We're just gonna... And he's dead. Just like that. Didn't get a chance to do a whole lot of anything, did he? We're gonna go ahead and grab the Radiant Aura, just to give us a little bit more close range DPS. We're still getting this trash one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and re-roll this a couple times. Base damage, that's a good one you can take, because base damage is gonna improve any other percentages you have on top of your damage. So okay, we got the main weapon damage. So our flamethrower now is doing about 86 damage a tick. Up from like 46 or something like that. So between that base damage and that raw damage increase, we got a pretty sizable improvement to our damage. We go ahead and grab the fire version. Now, the unfortunate part about this is because our weapons damage is lightning. We don't get any benefit from the fire damage, but we do get a benefit from the burn chance, which improves our chance to burn by quite a bit. Oh, we have another elite. As you can see, he just goes down. And now we can start grabbing like crit chance. We've already got 30% crit chance thanks to our lightning infinity. Go and grab our crit damage bonus as well. Attack speed. Electrify chance. At this point, the electrify damage we're probably doing is probably overkill. Go ahead and... I don't know what piercing is going to do, but we're just going to take it, because why not, right? I don't think the flamethrower ever needs piercing. So, but we're just going to take it because we don't really need anything else, to be honest with you. We could fight the final boss right now and we'd be just fine. Nothing in this mission is going to pose a threat to us for the rest of the duration here. The only boss in the game that really poses a threat to this build is the worm in level 2. Because it just goes underground and just ignores your dot all the time. But it still goes down like pretty quick. You just can't just basically AFK as much. Go grab piercing too, why not? So at this point, I don't really need to move around a lot. I could, if I wanted to, I'm just gonna press R here and just show you. I don't have to play anymore if I don't want to. This build will literally play itself for the next 20 minutes. Outside of the boss, I'll have to take control back for the boss again. But to be honest with you, you don't really have to play anymore if you don't want to. It'll even kill the ghosts because the AI is cracked and will just automatically aim at the ghosts when they get close and stop them and kill them instantaneously. But I'm not going to show you guys what AFK gameplay looks like because it'd be rather boring for you, I imagine. For me to just stop talking, walk away from the computer, and just show you how strong this is. Crit damage bonus. Now keep in mind, crit damage bonus really doesn't help us that much, to be honest with you. Oh, another elite enemy. He's dead. Grab Dragon's Breath, because it doesn't really matter what we take at this point ability-wise. Dragon's Breath isn't the greatest, but we don't really need it. We don't really need any other abilities, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's intended for these to work together as well as they do, but the fact that you can still stack your burn while using lightning is insane. There are other really strong builds in this game, but in my opinion, this one's the strongest. I've never seen something delete bosses as hard as this, except for like maybe Cleric with like super small range and just fucking shitting on enemies in close range. Since their damage is always really high as long as they can consolidate their target to be single target. But this build just does damage regardless of how many enemies there are, which is why I think it's a bit stronger in my opinion. I think Shield Maiden could probably compete with this damage as well, if you do attack speed and get a maximum possible crit chance, because you can just make her crit damage like 400% higher. And if you get good crit chance, then you're hitting really hard all the time. It's quite terrifying, actually. But I still don't know if the actual DPS is as high as this. Because once this gets set up, you're dealing 2,000 damage quite regularly. I mean, it's very regular. You'll see when we fight the Lord of this realm. But as you've seen so far, nothing is really going to pose a challenge to us anymore in this level. And this is level 3, so it's even worse on level 2 and level 1. Level 1, the enemies barely even get to play, especially the AI. Sorry, not the AI. Like the mobs, they just don't get to play. So as you can see, we're at ghosts now. The ghosts just die instantly as soon as I focus my fire on them. They don't get to survive because they just get hit. Because the ghosts reduce all your damage to 1, but they have a set amount of like static HP. I don't know how many hits it is, but there's so many hits. Once you hit them, they just die. So we'll hit it. So we start hitting them, and they just die instantly. Because we're hitting them with so many ticks of damage at the same time that they just die. So I'm not worried about the Hydra either, because we're gonna kill the Hydra before the ghosts even get here, and then we're gonna kill all the ghosts super quick. So I'm not worried about them in the slightest. We've still got 10 minutes to go to the Hydra though, so I'm not going to stress it. More crit damage. The crit damage is mostly helping our lightning strike, because our lightning strike is what's hitting really hard, as in addition to our lightning ticks. The crits on our actual flamethrower really don't mean that much. The two downsides to this build, I'd say, are probably the fun factor, and the other one is probably how much effort it can take you to unlock all the components you need for this one, because you have to do all of the sorceress stuff in order to get the lightning affinity that you saw me take earlier, and getting the one for the Exterminator is easy because it's just burning a bunch of enemies for the fire affinity. So let's see. We'll go ahead and grab firing. We're going to go grab attack speed for our ball lightning. More ghosts. They're dead. Here's the Ice Knight. And he's dead. This build does make the game an absolute joke. Though I don't know whether it's OP or if this is the level of power the developer meant for you to be able to achieve. Either way, it's a really fun, it's a really feels good build to play because everything just loses. So I do apologize that the commentary isn't the best. This isn't normally what I do. But I decided to make this video because I was having fun with the build and wanted to share with other people that also want to have fun doing insane amounts of damage to people. It also just kind of lets you turn your brain off. Right now I have auto attack on, but I don't have auto aim on. Because I really don't want to hold down my left mouse button the entire time I'm playing this character. But if I just pocked it and put auto aim on, I just wouldn't have to play until there was 1 minute left. Or not even that, just until the boss spawned, to be honest with you. Let's see, we'll just keep grabbing, we'll grab more size. God, where's this mob density in Diablo 4 though, for real? Now, you won't get to see the power as much here, because these guys don't have the shields. But once you see the second wave, the second army come that has all the shields in it, you'll see just how strong this is, because the shields just don't do anything. The shields just don't do shit. Because of the amount of projectiles coming, eventually they're gonna lose their role. They're block chance, and they're gonna die. So. The only thing that's preventing me from killing these enemies before they get close to me is the fact that my flamethrower doesn't reach the entire line of mobs before I can rotate to the other side. But it doesn't really matter because these mobs just walk in a straight line until you get close, so it doesn't really matter all that much. Let's see, we'll just go ahead and grab some base health, just in case. I don't think we're going to need it, but you never know. At this point, the damage portion of the build is for the most part complete. You can make it stronger by making your extra abilities stronger, like your ball lightning, your radiant aura, your lightning strike, all that good stuff. But you don't need it. If you could get lightning affinity without having a light ability on your bar, you could play this from start to finish with literally 0 issues. In terms of, you might even be able to get lightning affinity still because you're using an electrified weapon. I'm not sure how it works though. I'm not sure if you have to have a lightning ability for it to populate. You just seem to have a something that deals lightning damage in your loadout. That I'm not an expert in, unfortunately. Now we're gonna go pick up the other side of the army's XP. More base health, why not? I can grab attack speed for the phantom needles, not that we need it, but you know, why not, right? Another elite enemy, the crossbowman. He's dead. Just grab the meteors, why not? Fuck it. Add more crit chance to the Radiant Aura. Not that we're even really using the Radiant Aura for any kind of DPS means, but why not, right? Why not? Go ahead and grab the magnet here. Explosion area. Piercing. As far as XP goes, as you can tell, we're level 87 and we still got 10 minutes to go. We've got plenty of time to get those extra levels. With this character, I've been able to get the farthest past level 100. I've been able to get to like 106, 107 using this build. Because you just kill everything so quick that the game is able to just throw more mobs at you, so... here we go. Now we're going to have the army of these guys. And as you can see, even with their shields, they are just no match for the damage output. See, we can't really go wrong here, so we're just gonna grab attack speed on the meteor strike. Why not? Explosion area. Why not? Aura damage, why not? Why not, right? Now, the reason that this character doesn't deal as much damage with just fire is because the fire caps out at 20 stacks, and it's only 500 damage a tick. And it doesn't tick as fast as lightning at 20 stacks does. That's where the damage really comes from on this build. Oh, the Hydra's here. Didn't even realize. And the Hydra's dead. Alright. We can't grab anything from there. Alright, now comes everyone's favorite part about this level, the 5 million ghost army. It should be coming soon. As you can see, not even these ghosts can stand up to this. There's just too much damage happening too quickly from all of our attack speed and all of our procs of electrify, burn. It's just too much. They can't do it. And unlike a lot of other projectiles, the ghosts don't stop our fireballs from our flamethrower, so it pierces all of them and it just hits all of them at the same time. Whereas with characters like the Archer, the projectiles get stopped no matter how much pierce you have. And so it can really slow down your ability to kill these guys. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to pause there on accident. My thumb fat fingered the space bar. And there we go, all of our ghosts are gone. Back to more of these shielded wraith mobs. Another elite. He's dead. Another elite mob. He's gone. Go ahead and grab the scattered debris to make our meteors just split up more. And these next couple minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the auto aim on because we're just gonna be surviving until the main boss gets here. Because this game's just gonna spam mobs at us until that time comes. Now, even without all these abilities, these mobs would still get nowhere close to my character. However, all the abilities I do have makes it even harder for them to touch us, so. It's a little bit mental. We leveled up again. We'll go ahead and grab some more move speed. All those mobs are dead. Let's go ahead and grab our XP. We're already level 101 and we still have 4 minutes to go. Yeah, Army of the Dead on this map, by the way, is a great way for you to grab some of the more difficult achievements. One of them being like the one where you gotta crit enemies like 20,000 times in one, or like it's like 20 or 50,000 times in one run as a rogue or as an archer. So what you can do is just max out your crit chance. I think you can get like 95% crit chance between lightning affinity, your weapon proficiencies, and everything, and you can just shoot like diagonally through this mob right here, and you'll get so many crits it's not even funny. And you just get as much pierce as you can as well, and you just go, and you'll get it in no time if you do it like that. That's one of the best ways you can get any of those kind of ridiculous achievements where it's like hit this enemy with this many times in one run kind of thing. It's also good for doing the Shield Maiden Shield Bash challenge, because those enemies never die, so you can always hit a lot of them with it whenever there's no mobs around to hit with. So it kind of works out for you. We are level 104, and we still have 2 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing I really get for the build at this point is gonna like make the DPS super high or anything like that, so. If I really wanted to fluff our DPS numbers, I could just sit there and hit that ghost mob repeatedly, because they never die. Also, a cool trick with those the Army of the Dead is if you have some way to slow enemies in your kit, what you can do is you can slow one section of them, and then eventually they'll fall behind the rest, and that gives you an easy way to get behind them. If you're having trouble completing this stage, that's a really good way to get behind the Army of the Dead and not have to deal with them ever again. And you don't have to lose any more XP or anything, or worry about space or anything like that. So highly recommend that if that's giving you trouble on this map. As you can see, I'm literally just holding W and whatever other key in whatever other direction I need to go in to basically almost avoid pretty much everything. Everything just dies before I get to it, before it can touch me. I took a little bit of damage there from something. I don't even know what hit me. More damage is always fun. We've only got 30 seconds left, and we're level 107. So we are going to be very good on our levels by the time this boss spawns. 108. I think we'll probably stop at 108 for yeah, we won't get our level. So we're gonna be fighting this boss at level 108. I'm gonna turn off auto aim now, and we're just gonna start hitting him. All you have to do is just focus on avoiding whatever damage is coming your way, and as you can see, his health is going down quite quick. You can see all those 2000s mixed in there, and they're not really going down all that much. With just fire, this takes quite a bit of time. But as you can see, when you put that lightning in there as well, they just go down quick. You won't find a lot of builds in this game that can drop these lords as quick as this one does. And that's it. As you can see, we dealt a pretty reasonable amount of damage. Our damage for our lightning was over 8 mil just in electrify damage, 4.5 mil from just the flamethrower damage, 2 mil in burn damage, and our ball lightning pulled in about 8 mil as well. Overall, you can definitely see how strong this build is. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.